Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are breaking down the really powerful financial philosophy of turning it into a simple, actionable blueprint that you can actually use. Okay, first things first, let's just bust a huge myth right out of the gate. Getting rich is not about living some kind of extreme, punishing lifestyle. You know, the 4 a.m. alarms, the ice baths, all that stuff you see on social media. The reality is way less dramatic and, honestly, a lot more doable for the rest of us. And as puts it so well, the real secret is so much smaller, smarter, and way more sustainable. It's all about these tiny, consistent habits that just build on each other, kind of like a snowball rolling downhill, getting bigger and bigger. So let's dive into the first part of this blueprint, shall we? Now, before we even think about taking action, we have to build the right foundation. And it all, and I mean all, starts with how you think about money. And hey, this isn't about opening up a spreadsheet just yet. It's about getting your core philosophy straight first. I mean, it's the big question, right? Does more money actually make you happier? We're all sort of conditioned to think the answer is a simple yes, but the reality is way more complicated. In fact, after a certain point, the data tells a totally different story. It's this idea called the fulfillment ceiling, and what it means is you eventually hit this point where more money and more stuff don't just stop adding to your happiness, they can actually start to subtract from it. It just creates more stress and more clutter instead of more joy. So, how do you find your sweet spot? Well, here's a really simple but powerful exercise. First, just list what truly matters to you, your top 5 priorities in life. Family, health, whatever it is. Then, and this is the eye-opening part, pull up your last 30 days of bank statements. The whole goal is just to see that gap between what you say you value and where your money actually goes, and then start closing it. And that quote, it is the perfect bridge to our next section. We always think we have to wait for motivation to strike before we can do anything. But what if we've had it backwards this whole time? Let's take a look at how this idea really powers the whole engine of our financial growth. Okay, so once that mindset is locked in, it's time to build the engine, the thing that's going to drive all your financial growth. And that engine is all about compounding habits. These are the little daily and weekly things that end up doing all the heavy lifting for you. Now check this out. Let's look at the data on just one simple habit. Turns out, wealthy people tend to create more than they consume. Research shows that a whopping 77% of those struggling financially watch more than an hour of TV a day. But on the flip side, 2/3 of wealthy individuals watch less than an hour. And look, the point isn't that TV is evil. It's about what you could be doing with that time to create value, learning a skill, building something. That's what compounds. All right, here is another game-changing habit. Stop treating your brain like a machine that's always running at 100%. It's just not true. Your mental energy has a natural rhythm. It ebbs and it flows, and the secret is to work with it, not fight against it. So here's the trick. Match your hardest, most demanding work to when you're naturally at your peak. For a lot of us, that's in the morning. That's your time for deep, creative, focused work. And then, that afternoon slump we all feel, that's perfect for the easy stuff, like admin tasks, or maybe hitting the gym to re-energize. So what happens when you're just not feeling it? You know, when procrastination kicks in? Well, that brings us to this amazing tool called the do something principle. The next time you feel stuck, forget about waiting for inspiration. Just do one tiny thing. Send one email, write one sentence, save $1. That little bit of action is often the spark that creates the motivation you were looking for. Okay, this is so important. How do you make all these good habits stick without just relying on willpower, which we all know runs out? The answer is you build a system. Because a good system, it runs on autopilot. And that brings us perfectly to our third and final pillar, creating a system. This is where you actually automate your financial progress. You're basically designing a machine that builds wealth for you in the background, without you even thinking about it. And listen, a total financial transformation doesn't have to be some giant, scary project. You can follow a clear step-by-step plan. Month 1, just get a handle on your numbers, know what's coming in and what's going out. Then build a small safety net. Then attack your most expensive debt. Then start investing. And finally, you put the whole thing on autopilot. Automation is your superpower here. You set it up once, and it just takes willpower completely out of the equation for your most important money moves. You pay your future self first. You have your savings and investments transferred the day you get paid before you can even touch it. It's absolutely brilliant. The final piece of the system is putting your money to work for you through investing. And no, this isn't about trying to be some Wall Street trading genius. It's about letting the market do the heavy lifting for you over the long run. A really simple way to do this is by investing in broad market index funds. Think of it like this. Instead of trying to pick the one winning horse, you're just betting on all the horses to do well over time. And look at this. The S&P 500 has had an average annual return of 10.5% over the last 20 years. This isn't a get-rich-quick thing. It's a get-wealthy slowly but surely strategy that works. So let's pull it all together. There you have it. A 3-part blueprint for building wealth that actually lasts. It's not built on extreme sacrifice. It's built on small, smart actions. First, get your mindset right. Second, build those compounding habits. And third, put it all on autopilot with a system. Now, the whole point of this is not for you to go home and try to change your entire life overnight. That's just not how it works. It's all about starting with one single manageable step. So I'll ask you, what is the one tiny thing you can do today that your future self is going to thank you for? Maybe it's just setting up one automatic transfer. Maybe it's just writing down your top 5 priorities. Just start there.